Hi, I'm Jay Evans, and today's topic is the value of education in Wisconsin communities and why college-bound programs are much more needed than ever. Helping me tackle this topic is my friend Davina George. But first off, what is the value of education? The value of education is a level of programming given to students to help focus in classes and help them improve their creativity, knowledge, and have a better start for the future. But why? Why is this needed? You see, urban communities lack educational value, meaning urban school kids aren't being prepared for college and actually not even being prepared to graduate. You see, students nowadays don't even know what the SAT or ACT is and all that. And that's a huge overbearing issue. Besides that, the graduation rates are actually a lot lower than the ones in suburban areas.
In suburban areas, the graduation rate is much higher than those in urban areas. For example, as stated by the New York Times,
that students in Cleveland, Ohio had a 38% chance of graduating than those of 80% graduating in a non-urban community. However, most schools aren't fully preparing their students for college. Many students aren't fully prepared for SATs and ACTs. According to College Board and the Huffington Post, from 2005 to 2015, the SAT and ACT scores appeared stagnant as there was no increase in the scores. I believe more college-bound programs should be made in schools. College-bound programs such as College-Bound Brotherhood, Legal Outreach, and NJLEEP are very effective in urban environments. College-bound programs are needed because they are effective, rigorous, resourceful, providing networking connections, college readiness, and big motivators towards education and success. In providing more information about college-bound programs, we have been given the privilege of speaking with the New Jersey-based college-bound program known as NJLEEP, or New Jersey Law and Education Empowerment Projects. NJLEEP is a 4-year high school college-bound program bent on striving students in urban communities to achieve college readiness and a better advantage in becoming an educated and successful student.
My name is Elizabeth Abitanto, and I'm the Managing Director here at NJLEEP.
What is your position at NJLEEP and what do you do?
My role consists of oversight of our after-school, summer, and Saturday programs, along with our family engagement program, our mentoring program, our constitutional law program, and so I oversee the staff, students, families, alum, and then through that work I do a lot of development of programs, program management, program oversight, so it's been a fun journey.
What is NJLEEP?
NJLEEP is a comprehensive out-of-school time college-bound program. We essentially have different type of program that will help support the students and prepare them for college. And I know that sounds big, and a lot of folks do that, but I do think that we get all the buckets, right? And so when you think about preparation for college, a lot of people think just academic skills. And while that's a part of it, and we do a lot of academic prepping, it's also the soft skills, right? Professionalism, dining etiquette, networking skills, all that stuff really is crucial in personal development, but doing really well successfully in college and beyond. And so I think that's a big component of what we do. Test prep, I think, is really important. And while you need it to get into college, you're going to see test prep along the way, and those skills are truly remarkable and helpful in the real world. And so NJLEEP, while we have all the program, is really to teach skills, habits, to build habits, and to have exposure for the students so they can see themselves outside of just the hood.
Do you believe educational empowerment is important and why?
Yeah, and to some extent, I'm sure you heard this, but education is your way out, right? It's the way, when you think about money and power, it's not usually because people are rich to get it, it's because they access education, right? They access the knowledge. The more educated you are, the more access you have, the more knowledge you have of getting out of your situation, right? Whether it's home ownership or access to books and technology, this stuff is free. It's just making sure that you go out and attain it. And so when you think about empowerment, you think about educational attainment, so that you can feel better, you're more confident, right, when you know what you're talking about. And even if you don't, that you can find out, right, and then go more prepared for your next conversation. And so education is crucial, right, when you think about getting out of whatever social economic status you came from.
Do you believe college-bound programs to be effective?
Absolutely, and so even I think that in suburban areas, even in privileged areas, college-bound support is crucial. You can have money and your parents have never gone to college, or your parents can have gone to college and still not know what the process looks like. If you have older parents, if you have parents who have gone the non-traditional route, like so community college, and then have gone back to school, they may not know how to support you. They may not know the schools that work best for you. They may not know what's out there. They may not know funding and opportunities at different schools, or help you identify. There's professionals that do this, and so when you think about guidance counselors that are taxed with 200 students, 100 plus students, it's very difficult for them to have a one-man approach to each student, right, or one-woman approach. You know, it's usually cookie cutter. You send me your list, I'll submit your transcripts to these schools, but you know that the college process is so much more than that. And we do it here with our students. A lot of people are not doing it, and so if you pay a lot of money, you may get it. But if you, you may get lost in the way. Your guidance counselor is not going to reach out to you, and a lot of students don't reach out to their guidance counselors. And so that's what I think the gaps that the guidance departments can support in college-bound programs can support in the gap.
What programs does NJLEEP contain?
So we contain NJLEEP contains several programs. Starting with our Summer Law Institute, where we teach criminal trial and procedural law, to our legal internships, ACT prep programming, so you're talking about test prep and strategies. We have our college application process, where we support students getting into college. We have an intro to college writing, so our students experience what college level writing and coursework looks like, along with our Great Books course, which is sort of like a classics humanities course taught by a law school professor. Then we have a life skills, so we build the social emotional skills. I'm trying to think of our common law program, which is constitutional law. We have debates through that, attorney mentoring, ACT prep I mentioned, and then the last program is our Saturday writing, and so building the students' writing skills on Saturdays to make them stronger writers, better speakers.
How does NJLEEP motivate your students?
I think we do that we motivate our students in multiple ways, and I think part of it is that we keep our numbers down, we keep our students population at a ratio that we think is reasonable for a student staff ratio, making sure that we know our students really well. We not only know our students, but we know our families really well. We know what turns a student off, what turns them on, what their interests are, what their quirks are, what their family dynamics are. And so when you think about what motivates them, that also isn't a cookie cutter approach. How I motivate you is not going to be the same way I motivate another one of your peers. And so getting to know students, I think, is very helpful in targeting motivation levels. And I think we do that by keeping the class sizes small, and then doing having very targeted conversations with our students to make sure that they feel supported, that they feel acknowledged, right? Whether it's good work or bad work. We don't always call a parent when it's bad stuff. We'll call a parent and say, like, wow, this student did really well. Like, the first 2 weeks he was struggling a little bit, but he started doing his homework, and it seems like he's going to get the gains he's looking for. That empowers the community, right? You're not only empowering the student, but the family. The student tells someone else, like, oh, I got a call, something good happens, right? And then everyone wants to be praised and acknowledged for their hard work. And I think they come from communities where they're constantly told what they're doing is wrong. It's not good enough, right? Or they're being scrutinized by police, and a lot of factors, anywhere from the president down, right? We're in a time where like being of color is very difficult, right? We're getting shot, or we're getting sent back to our countries, one or the other, or asked for our papers or documentation. So, when they're here and they're supported, and we assume the best for students, I think that we come from a place of trust.
It comes to my attention that NJLEEP has now an 100% college acceptance rate. How does that reflect upon you and your time at NJLEEP?
I think our 100% graduation rate has a lot to do with the time that me and my staff puts in, right? So we are not a 9-to-5 organization. We're not a 40-hour work week. I tell people when they apply for jobs and during our recruitment session is you can try to leave at 5. You can try to, or 10 to 6, right? Is what we do. But you'll probably get a student who's circling your office, right, on the brink of tears, and they want to go to you at 6:01, right? And if your desire is to leave because you have something to do or you have something more important, then this place is not for you, right? We want to make sure that whatever it is you have to do, you know, if it's important, then I get it. But if it's not that important and it can take another 30 to an hour to make sure that that student feels supported and they have a voice to talk to, that's really, I think, why we have such great numbers, is because you have a dedicated team that is willing to go above and beyond to make sure that those numbers are a reality. And so I think a lot of it is attributed to the people we hire.
From your start at NJLEEP to now, how has NJLEEP evolved over the years?
I think when I started, we did good work, but I felt that there were some programs that weren't the most effective. And so, you know, they try to build habits in the students by making sure they were in. But part of when they were in, their time in, it was just study hall. I didn't find that that was very effective. And so in my second year here, I made sure that the programs that we had were not just comprehensive and tied to the summer programs that they were doing, or tied to, and we can scaffold their skills up, but that it was substantive, that they were going to class and something was happening. They weren't just going to sit there and study, that they were actually going to do work. And so we implemented a continued ACT program. So we started in the summer and then continued it during the school year. Our Con Law program, you know, we went from seeing kids once a week to twice a week, right? Because it became hard when we required them their last 2 years to come twice a week. So we started building the skill earlier. So it was changes in our program management that changed over the years. I think that we realized in going to conferences, talking to other people about what best practices are, what other college-bound programs are doing, and so we realized, what can we do to better support our alum, right? So now we have an alum program, we have more alum services. We're realizing that sometimes the kids come to us and it's too late, even in 9th grade, and so we're thinking about building out middle school programming so we can get students earlier, we can start molding and refining their skills and keeping school cool, right? Middle school, they say, you know, the studies say that you lose students to the streets, you lose them to sex, gun, drugs, violence, all these things, right? And so you can imagine a community that's already riddled with those issues. If we can get them when it's still cool, right, and then just drag them out, there's going to be so much more support and impact that we can have in our communities if we just get them a little younger. And so, you know, we're just doing whatever we can to make our community stronger.
What parts of NJLEEP do you like the most?
The parts about NJLEEP I love the most is developing strong, meaningful relationships with my students. It's getting to know their quirks. It's getting to know their families. It really is. I mean, I see the students and the families that I have here as truly my family, right? You know, I see you as my little brother, right? My nephew, my son, right? In so many ways, and there's nothing I wouldn't do to make sure that you feel supported, right? And I just love being a part of that, an extended family, an extended, right? And like, if I ever meet someone that does the arts or is doing podcasts or has experience, then I have all this family, right? All these like kids that like I can reach into and tap into. And so I hope that they see me as a lifetime friend, because I certainly see them as lifetime friends. I hope that it's not the 4 years that we know each other, but it's a lifetime.
Alongside their path, NJLEEP brings a sense of community, having parents and teachers and students have a hand-in-hand collaboration, having their kids strive for a better future. But don't take my word for it. Here is Dean of Family Engagement, Sergio Seijas. What is your position at NJLEEP and what do you do?
My position is Dean of Family Engagement, and so as part of Dean of Family Engagement, I meet with families and students at least once per year in their home, at the office, a place they're comfortable. I also oversee the Saturday writing class, and in the summer, I oversee the juniors and their ACT preparation. So just to go back to the families, it's a little bit of one-on-one meetings, parent workshops.
What are your values in education?
That it is accessible to as many people as possible, and that the quality of the education that they're able to access is of the highest degree possible, that it's culturally sensitive, and that it really empowers the people exposed to it, so whether it's communities, families, students, to aspire and allow them to reach their goals.
As Dean of Family Engagement, how do you bring families together towards motivating their students?
persistence. Persistence is key in terms of forming the relationships that I have with families and students. Relationships are integral to kind of forming the sense of community that is so important in the work that we do. And knowing that it's not just going to take one phone call or a text message to get the dialogue going or the conversation started, that sometimes it's going to take several. And then also I've learned to balance positive communication, so in communicating the positive strengths of their student, while also communicating the areas for improvement. So not just always making sure that the communication I do is focused on the negative, but also definitely infusing it with positive aspects.
Do you believe urban communities empower the students for success?
That's a tricky question. I think the goal for a lot of urban communities is to do so. I think some of the urban communities are not really, don't possess the structure or the skills to do that. And so I think the intention is there, but in terms of, I think a lot more work needs to be done on exactly how to go about empowering students and communities. So the techniques and the strategies that they can use to do so.
Do you find it to be really effective?
Yes. My unbiased answer is yes. No, and I think we have a track record to show our success, right? So the schools that our students get into, the percentages that they're graduating from college are far higher than the national average. Their success post-graduating, and so I think a lot of the skills that we build in our students during their tenure in high school or during their time with us really sets them off on a path where they can continue to succeed and build upon those skills.
How do you motivate families to invest in your time with NJLEEP?
Making it accessible to them. And so knowing that flexibility is key. So for example, if I want parents to come to a parent workshop, I can't make it the same day during the week, right? Because then that ostracizes people that work on that day. So moving, something as simple as moving when parent workshops take place, or the times that they start, or providing food at workshops. These are all ways that kind of allow me to continue to build that relationship and also encourage families to be more involved. I think the workshops are an essential piece in terms of showing families the strategies that they can use to get more involved in their child's education, as well as, again, as I mentioned before, the relationship building and the importance of communicating.
What part of NJLEEP motivates you?
The growth I'm able to see in students. And so I've been here 4 years, and so I've been able to see a whole cohort of students start out as SLI students and graduate as seniors. And I think every year seeing them grow and evolve, learn new things, map out a course for their goals and the dreams that they hope to accomplish is very rewarding and enriching. And so that.
What do you love about bringing in a sense of community to the program?
Pardon, can you repeat that one more time?
What do you love about bringing in a sense of community to the program?
Well, I think community is integral in our mission, right? I think without getting community to be engaged, or the community to be engaged in whatever capacity, whether it's event attendance, whether it's strategizing with them on how to get their child from high school to college, from college beyond, I think it's important, and we can't ignore it. I think in some places and in schools, a lot of times it's ignored, right? A lot of the education is focused on the student, the communication is focused on the student, and I think students are relied upon to be the vehicle to communicate this back to their parents, and as we know, that sometimes doesn't always happen. And so for us, a lot of the communication we do is twofold. It's both to student and family, to make sure that everyone is on the same page and that everyone is working toward the common goal, which is for their child or themselves to get the highest education possible and really accomplish what they've set out to do.
From your study at NJLEEP, how have you evolved and NJLEEP evolved?
I think for myself, I've learned the importance of being adaptable. First when I started, I was like, okay, if the student is having a difficulty in math, and this student's having difficulty in math or in English, then the same solution can be applied to both. And I learned that that's not the case. And so definitely being adaptable and flexible in my approach to solving issues, solving student concerns, listening, I think is super important. I think in terms of NJLEEP and how we've grown, the programming that we offer, I think the quality over time has improved in terms of the resources that we're utilizing, how we structure things. Definitely the amount of students that we're able to serve has grown, and so that's been great to see.
Lastly, what are you thankful for in NJLEEP?
I'm thankful for the families that I work with, the students that I get to serve, definitely my colleagues. I think they're just as passionate and just as focused on improving the quality of urban education and access to services that our students have as I am. And I think that working with them makes it not seem like a job.
See, in preparing the students are now having a welcoming sense of appeal, having themselves actually strive for a better future. Having kids work hard and rigorously while also being welcomed and being motivated to do much more with the cash they can. But don't take my word for it. Here are the alumni, students, and NJLEEP having their word on what NJLEEP does for them.
Hi, my name is Paula Rocha, and I'm currently a sophomore at Rutgers University, New Brunswick.
What majors and minors are you currently taking?
Currently, I'm a linguistics and East Asian studies double major with a concentration in Korean.
How has NJLEEP changed your life from freshman year of high school to now?
NJLEEP really pushed me to become a better person while I was in high school, so I think definitely now they're the reason that I'm succeeding and that I actually really know what I want to do in the future.
What program at NJLEEP did you enjoy the most, and which one do you believe helped you the most?
My favorite program, which was also most beneficial to me, was CAP. I loved spending my mornings here talking to my friends, and then when I got to work, we were all doing something that was in a way fun, like writing out our stories and searching up schools and thinking about our futures. And also the amazing feedback we got back on our applications was really what I think got me to where I am now.
How did NJLEEP motivate and help you?
NJLEEP's motivation can at times be a bit strict when fall points and the occasional lecture from either Mr. Seijas or Ms. A, but I think without that I definitely wouldn't have had the motivation to really put myself out there in the program.
Do you find it to be very effective?
I do. As a student, I did question it sometimes. I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I here? But now that I'm in college, if I could go back, I really would go back into LEEP and maybe even put more effort into it.
Lastly, are you thankful for NJLEEP?
I am and always will be thankful to NJLEEP and everyone who's worked in it.
Hi, my name is Jocelyn Hernandez. I'm a senior at Lancaster Academy in Upper Montclair.
Hello, I am Jahmir James. I go to Science Park High School. I am also a senior in Urban Years.
How has NJLEEP motivated and helped you?
So NJLEEP has motivated me in a lot of ways. I think definitely during SLI, I developed my interest for criminal justice throughout the criminal trial and the mock trials that we did through there. I think definitely during the persuasive writing classes, I had definitely became a better writer because of that. And I learned how to write a brief in constitutional law. And I definitely became more outspoken because of the debates that we had to do in front of the judges.
Do you find NJLEEP to be resourceful and rigorous?
I find it to be rigorous and resourceful because during the school year we're having to practice for these constitutional law debates, and we also have that on top of classes that necessary to register NJLEEP as well. And even though that's very hard, I know they're just preparing us for college life, and in dealing with resources, they take us on internships to different places like Bank of America or American Express and law firms, and we get to get ourselves out there. Also, they give us websites and different things like Raise Me, which is a scholarship app, and different websites like College Greenlight to help us with the college process as well.
From the beginning of freshman year to now, how have you guys changed?
So as a freshman, I was definitely shy. I probably would not have found myself talking in front of the camera as a freshman. But now as a senior, I think I've definitely grown. I've become more outspoken. I talk a lot more than I used to freshman year. And I think I've definitely found who I am, and I've definitely developed my own voice as an individual.
When I was a freshman, I really didn't have that many skills that I could apply to my schoolwork or anything. So coming to NJLEEP, It really helped me better with my writing specifically. I wasn't the best writer, but ever since I went to NJLEEP to practice my grammar classes, vocabulary, and the briefs that we have to write, I've become a great writer, and I like writing now. It's fun.
Lastly, are you guys thankful for NJLEEP?
I think I'm definitely thankful for NJLEEP. Without NJLEEP, I honestly don't think I would be where I am today. They helped me definitely in so many ways. They helped me develop actually what I want to do when I grow up. I knew that I wanted to be a lawyer, but it was because the SLI program where I actually knew that I definitely saw myself doing this in the future, and it's something that I definitely want to do.
I'm also very grateful and thankful for NJLEEP because right now we're doing CAP as seniors, or applying to these colleges and thinking about colleges we're going to apply to. And if it wasn't for NJLEEP, I would not be thinking or considering the colleges that they're telling me I should apply to now.
Hi, my name is Liliana Sanchez. I'm a rising sophomore at Science Park High School in Newark, New Jersey.
How did you hear about NJLEEP?
NJLEEP was greatly advocated by a friend's mom. She came to the school and she asked our teachers about if she knew any students who were interested in law and things like that, and then she greatly pushed us to apply and sign up for it.
How was your first year NJLEEP like so far?
I would say it went pretty well. NJLEEP's really been helpful and supportive, and yeah, at times it may be stressful, but in the end, the benefit outweighs the things that it's worth.
Did NJLEEP benefit you in any way?
It taught me certain skills that I needed. Like in school, the curriculum, the teachers don't really teach you grammar as much, and I didn't really think that I needed it until this year when I took the class and I took the grammar skills class with my teacher and things like that, and then I realized there were so many things out there that I didn't really know about it yet.
Are you thankful for NJLEEP?
Most definitely, because I didn't really know about certain aspects, like about college and future and things like that, until I actually started NJLEEP, and then I realized that there was so much more that I needed to learn.
You heard it from the staff and students. NJLEEP now has a sense of community where everyone succeeds, not only the students but also the teachers as well. If one student succeeds, everyone succeeds. NJLEEP now has a 100% success rate of colleges going in for students, having kids go to Harvard, NYU, Wesleyan, and even Montclair State University. We're taking from me, an NJLEEP alumni. I am now currently a junior at Montclair State University, and if it wasn't for NJLEEP, I don't know where I would be. You see, college-bound programs are very effective. It helps kids strive for the future and have a better sense of knowledge of what they want to do with themselves. And take it from me, I was a high school kid who had no idea what I wanted to do with myself. If it wasn't for NJLEEP, I would have never been in this position I am now. My high school was a pretty lousy high school. Having kids from the top 20% of the class, only that percentage know about college and have them know about what colleges are looking for and what colleges need. Having them prepare for the SATs and ACTs, while the rest of us had no idea. But if it wasn't for NJLEEP, I would have never had the knowledge of actually passing my SATs and actually going into a college. So, thank you, NJLEEP. If it wasn't for you, I don't know where I'd be. So, thank you, NJLEEP.
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 Thank you, NJLEEP.